Fan calling! It was nice to see your video, though I realized I wasn't subscribed to the Squiddy channel, so I had to do that. And that means I didn't see your video until like 3 days after you posted it. But now I'm subscribed, so now I'm gonna know exactly when you upload a new video. Looking forward to it! It was so much fun to see the bromance and hear about the South Korean person at the hostel and everything else. It was really fun. Because yes, I started a new program, Systemvetenskap, and so far it's kind of interesting. It's about computers, and I can relate to that. It's not like ancient Celtic history that I don't really have any connection to, so it's not as interesting. Computers I actually use, so far it's kind of interesting. And the third day, Wednesday, they gave us an assignment that we were supposed to form groups of 3, and we're supposed to write this PM or short essay thing. And in the goals for the assignment, it said that the student is supposed to show what he has learned so far, and it's like, guys, we've had 2 lectures on a completely new topic. I don't know how much I've learned so far, maybe you want to give me at least 2 weeks to think about what I've learned. No? Okay, I'm gonna show you after 2 lectures. Fine. And then we had to include an abstract model for you can apply on systems that some people had come up with. So, and then combine it with any topic out of 40 topics they had on a list with so there was this list we had to choose from another topic to combine with the model, and we could choose practically anything like social media, or as we chose, virtual reality, or computers in medicine, and there was lots and lots of things, and it had something computers and art. There were really abstract topics that we didn't know anything about. There was one in my group who's Russian, by the way, so I said, "Сейчас я читаю эту книгу," and she understood, I think. I don't know if she heard me. It was kind of obvious since I showed her the book at the same time. But I've been speaking Russian to someone. What? But anyhow, she wanted to write about virtual reality. So then we chose that topic, and we didn't know anything about it, and we didn't know anything about the model. So I was kind of stressed out about that. But then I became kind of the leader, the ranger of things, so I told them, you write about this, maybe, right, and then you can write about that, and I write about this, and then they actually wrote about virtual reality, and I just wrote stuff about the model. But then I think that essay turned out quite well in the end. Yay! It was okay. We fought together. It worked. And then I had time to bond. The Russian, she's 30 or something, so she has kids and everything. So she's nice, but she's not someone I would hang out with. But the other girl, she's my age, and she's kind of nerdy, so it's nice to talk to her. Potential friend there. And I don't like to be completely alone, like in English and in Russian, the second term, so yay, friend! Also, the first weekend after I'd been in school, I got sick, so then the Saturday I was lying on the sofa for the whole day watching Downton Abbey series 2, and it was so good, and I really like that show. It's so awesome because it's pretty clothes and pretty environment, and the characters are nice because they're so layered. They're in the beginning, when you start watching the first series, they seem like they're going to be stereotypes and you think you can predict them, but then the writers have just layered them, different characters, so well. I think that's very interesting. It's a good series. I don't know if you've seen any of it. It's a good show. And Downton Abbey is really educational because it takes place during the first, or starts right before, a few years before the First World War, and then the First World War comes, and you get an insight into what it was like, and you kind of learn the dates, which I don't really know. I'm really bad at history, but now I know it's about 1919. That's 1918, I think that's when it ended. And then I learned that after that the Spanish flu hit Europe. I didn't know that, but now I know that. So it's really educational. And of course there were nollningsaktiviteter, and I went the first evening, like we had the first day in school and we had a short lecture, and they had a mock lecture because there was a really old professor who came into the lecturing hall, and he spoke more Russian than English. So you couldn't understand anything he was saying, and it was supposed to be an introduction to algorithms. And he was just making super advanced calculations on the board, and his cell phone kept ringing all the time, and he didn't turn it off, and he took the call every time, and was just mumbling in Russian every time. It was really I was really stressed because I thought I was supposed to learn something, and everyone was laughing every time he picked up the phone, because he always went like he was annoyed that it was calling, but he didn't switch it off. And I didn't get that it was a fake lecture until afterwards, but it was kind of fun in hindsight. Then I was just like, my gosh, right, I just write down the keywords and then I'll check them up on the internet because I think I'm supposed to learn this, but I wasn't. And then I got sick, so I didn't go to the other nollningsaktiviteter, like pubrundor. I didn't really feel like going to that. But then I also went to the last of the nollningsaktiviteter. So this yesterday, we were supposed to meet at Ekonomikumparken at 12. It said in the schedule thing paper we had got. And then of course I went there 10 minutes early, just so you're there on time. But when I approached the group, that like I could see people standing, I realized there are only like the faddrar and nollningsgeneraler who were there, and I realized like, of course it's akademisk kvart, so I'm not supposed to be there until a quarter past, so I'm almost half an hour early. And I was like, oh, my phone is ringing, and then I have to walk this way and take my phone call. And then I came back on the right time, and then there was a lot more people there. And then we were playing games, and it was actually kind of fun. And since we're like 120 people, they had made us into 4 teams, and I'm in the red team, or Team Ginger, and I helped making the flag the first day. I wrote Team Ginger on the flag, so it's practically my work. And then another guy draws Santa Claus, but I wrote on it. It was I actually did something for a team. And then one game was Irländsk julafton. And then you were supposed to, each team had to empty like one flock of beer. And apparently it was really, really like disgusting beer that no one actually wants to drink. And then the point was that you have one team member, and he starts there, and then he runs to where the beer is, and he has to chug like one huge cup of beer. Then spin like norsk fylla. You go around like in a circle on this, like have a stick, and you spin around it, and you have to run back. And then this next team member, I didn't really feel like drinking that much beer because you had to chug one glass, and they were huge, or like. Yeah, you had to do that every time, or you had to always have a whole glass. I didn't really feel like chugging that much beer, so I skipped that one. So they got kind of drunk, and then we're supposed to take a group picture. There was one guy like, "Hi, blah blah. I saw that you were really quick on the last lap." I'm like, "Okay, I guess you could have your arm around my shoulders. Fine. You're quite nice to talk to anyway." I was new. It was surprising, but kind of nice. He said nice things. He said that, I have to show you, because he was talking about a lab that we had, and laborations in this sense is computer science, means that so far we have been clicking around in the Mac, just the OS, and like looking at, you have this program and that program. One of the assignments on the Mac lab was to make a movie in iMovie or a song in GarageBand. Ooh, difficult. And then the Windows lab was a bit more difficult to use, like Excel and things. And then we had an HTML lab, and I've been doing HTML before, so I was super excited about that one. It was really a lot of fun, and I learned new things, and that was really much fun. And then usually you always have like 3 hours for one lab, and then I was finished in 1.5 hours, and I was the first one to leave because it was like no one who had done HTML before. And then And then now that guy who had his arm around me, he said like, "Yeah, you were finished so quickly. I mean, you should." I thought when you left, like, you should help me. I really need help. So that was kind of nice of him. And we had one lecture on networks and the internet, and then the lecturer told us about how computers communicate. So when you have two computers connected like via internet, they have to have one standard for how they're going to communicate and do things. So, and those languages are called protocols, and then you have TCP and UDP. And both of them are based on the fact that you take the data and you cut up whatever you're going to send into smaller bits, and then they're called packets or packages, I don't remember. And then you send those in pieces, and then the other computer puts them together again when he receives all of them. And then TCP is like, hej! Oh, hej! Jag har lådor till dig, okej? 3 lådor. Ja, okej, nu har jag fått 3 lådor. Bra! Hej! So one computer says, "Hi, I want to talk to you," and then it's like, "Yeah, I'm prepared to receive things," and so they communicate, and they always tell what's going on. While UDP is more like this. So the one computer is just practically throwing packages at the first one, and if he doesn't get them, the first computer isn't gonna care. I thought that was kind of funny. Like, here, I have stuff for you. I think that's all. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye.